Excuse me. I'm gonna start talking because I know once I'm done with this, is gonna save it, and then some people are gonna be able to watch it back before people actually start signing on, or if anybody actually signs on. So hopefully I put this thing on public this time, and not private like I did the last time. It was like, oh, my subscribers aren't paying attention anymore, and nobody because nobody signed on because the link was private. But I just thought, I didn't want to pull out a big old camera and do this because my day was totally freaking ruined. The plan was ruined because I forgot to request that this UPS package be held so I can go pick it up first thing in the morning and then get some shooting done on what was a pretty nice day today. Um, and like usual, whenever I'm waiting for something like important or something that I need to get the shoot done, UPS either doesn't deliver, UPS and FedEx, they either don't deliver and say that they attempted and never did, or they deliver at like today, 7 p.m. Sun's down, no chance to get a shoot done. But like I said, I just thought I would come on. I don't know, talk about these before I actually did the video. So this is a set of ND filters I picked up off of Amazon. I was looking around for MD filters, and a lot of them are sold out. Power Pro, or what are they called, Polar Pros. A lot of guys are buying those expensive ND filters and sets. Usually, I use a polarized filter, which has a little bit of a tint to it, but not too dark. It's probably closer to this ND4. And the reason I do that is because I hate taking the filter off and on. I don't do a lot of night shooting, but when I'm out flying, I just want to be able to power the thing up and not have to pull out a filter and then I guess baby the drone to get the filter off and on, especially with a polarized filter where you got to change turn it to get a proper polarization. Um, so I couldn't get the ones that were polarized; they were sold out. They actually do this company, I guess it's called F-Stop Labs. They have a set that are actually polarized too. It looks like the same, I guess, form factor with a little rotating filter in the middle, similar to like I guess you would have on a regular camera. So I'll get those next. These cost about $39. I got them from Amazon, and I kind of actually no. What did I do? I ordered them from eBay. Same company. Ordered them from eBay, and they wanted $90 for the set. It was a set of non-polarized and polarized filters. So you got six filters, same ND rating, 4 through 16, 4 through 16 non-polarized, 4 through 16 polarized for $90. And then I went on Amazon, and Amazon had the same set for like $69. So I went back to eBay, told them to cancel it, and almost everybody sold out of filters on Amazon too. So I just needed a set of filters. I wanted to kind of get them out and test them. I was out shooting the other day. If you guys saw the other videos, there's a part where I'm shooting in town and it's super bright. A lot of reflection coming off of the glass buildings, and it just washed out the whole video. So I wanted to get a set of ND filters to kind of test them out, and I wanted an inexpensive set too because, to be honest with you, like I said, I'm not a professional photographer, videographer. I do this shit for fun. Sorry for cursing, but what people say when I go and read the comments, because usually I'm looking for like the channel's supposed to be about getting a good buy for I don't know how could I say it, for getting the most bang for your buck. So I don't need to go out and spend $100 on a set of Polar Pros when I can spend $39 on a set of whatever these are coming from China. If they are good quality, I know there are some stories where I could tell you that the lenses that I got were absolutely crap. I bought some inexpensive ND filters for one of my cameras. They were made out of plastic, and I was wondering why I had this ripply warping effect in my video, and it's because the plastic itself has a defect in it. When I took it off and looked through, you could see how the plastic had like some kind of waviness in it. These appear to be pretty good. I'm using a cell phone right now just to do this live stream because I don't know how to do that whole set up the live stream thing where you can kind of like use a computer and another camera. But these look pretty good, and I think they're like probably made out of glass. You do have a slight purpley tint to them if you look at them, um, like at the right angle. I'm thinking you could probably see that the reflection of my LED lighting in the back there is purple. But when I put them up, only ND16 has a dark purpley tint. When I put them up to the light and look through them, they look like they're more gray than purple. I actually, because like I said, it's dark. I flooded the room with all of my lights my LED light, which is pretty powerful, up against the white blinds to see if it gave me a purple tint to the blinds. And it gives more of a gray tint than a purple tint. So what I could probably do is I'll take this ND4, like I said, just as an example, and I'll put it over top of the camera here, or over top of the cell phone, and see if it changes the color profile, even though I'm not in the brightest light right now. So it's probably not the best way to do it because it's picking up the LED lights in the back. Let's see if I can turn it a little bit. Not gonna work. Well, anyway, I'll try it tomorrow morning if there's a decent amount of sun out, and see if this thing actually bumps up that image quality a little bit. Like I did notice, like I said, with the washed out, like I mean, I could probably have shot in high freaking shutter speeds and totally trash the image quality and produce like some kind of filter effect, but I just didn't want to do it. I leave it on auto all the time. So yeah, I mean, what are these? $40. They're from F-Stop Labs. I got 3 of them in a pack in the ranges that I mostly use, 4 through 16. I doubt I'll even use 16 unless it's like wintertime or it's all white. Most of the time, like I said, I'll keep on a polarized around 4. On this one, I think I'll use the 8. The 8 seems to be a little bit darker. If it's super bright outside, I'll probably just keep it on there. I don't like to pop them off. But another reason I wanted to kind of like go and do a live stream on this is because I have no idea how these things go on. They got these little clips on the back. I don't know if that's going to focus on that. There you go. Actually focused pretty good. Didn't realize that I'm using my S9. I didn't realize the S9 had a decent focus on the front facing camera. I know it kind of hunts a lot. So I wanted to actually, while I'm doing this, I guess if any of you guys are curious how you put these things on, I want to try to get them on the the camera here. It looks like it pops off. I'm assuming it pops off. I'm hoping this isn't something that's going to trash my camera, or I'm going to break something trying this. It looks like there are some hook type. I mean, I think I'll show you that again. It looks like there's some kind of like hook type. See if I can get that to focus. But these corner brackets here have hooks on them. So this feeling like it's made out of metal, I'm not sure how this thing actually snaps in to the camera, and I'm not trying to break this thing, mainly because I did not purchase the what is that called, DJI Care or Refresh Care, which I should have. I don't know. I spent $1,700 on this thing, and for some reason I didn't think it would be necessary to spend the extra $150 for the Refresh Care, and I'm probably gonna regret that down the line. So let's see if we can get this thing on here and see if they fit. Did some research on this from other, not research, but I did some research of the comments on this. These have these little ridges on the ends, I guess for grasping or gripping the filter easier. Let's see if I can get that to focus. Cell phone camera is over to the left, and it's kind of hard to get that to focus. But anyway, you can see them a little bit. I guess it's so you can get a good grip on it, so you can mount it. I think someone said something about not being able to get the gimbal clamp back on with that, with the ripples on it. They said it will calibrate and go through the startup sequence okay, but I think they were having trouble getting the gimbal cover back on. So I'm gonna give it a try real quick to see if I can get it on there, test it to see if the gimbal cover goes back on. I haven't put the gimbal cover back on it. I've just been playing with this thing over the last couple of days, so hopefully I can find it without wasting too much of you guys' time. But let's give it a shot. Let's see if this thing actually comes off easy. I don't know if I can. I can't really tilt that down. Could I? No, I can't tilt that down. So I'm gonna try to do it. Let me get something here so I don't break my gimbal off, and trash my precious drone here. Oh wait, holding onto this camera. I haven't touched this camera like physically since I got it. This camera feels like a solid block of metal. So hopefully it's cold, so no, it's made out of like some kind of alloy. I don't really see a way to pop this thing easily, but to get your nail underneath there somehow, if you don't have nails, it might not work. I should have maybe YouTubed this thing to see how you get this thing off, because yeah, it don't seem like it's coming off. I really don't want to snap my gimbal off trying to get this shit off of here. I gotta probably YouTube this, see how other guys got theirs off, see if other guys are using filters. I don't have anywhere to grab. I'm trying to press my nail underneath of there, and it ain't going under. I got little nails, but they ain't going underneath the. If I can get that to focus, there's a little bit of a gap there around the edges, and I can't get I can't get my nail under there. I'm not gonna take a knife to it because I'm anal, and if I scratch it, I'll be crying about putting a scratch on my freaking gimbal. I don't want to force it too much because I don't want to break it off. Yeah, like I said, those guys who were getting the original ones or the first set of them that had those lightly attached gimbals. It's making me nervous, guys. Because I can't even get a grip. I can't even get a grip on this. And if I could get a grip on it, it seems like I'm gonna have to force it off. So I think for now, I'm not gonna. I don't know. I see two people on. I don't want to actually try to force this off and break it. So what I'm gonna probably do is go watch some YouTube videos and see if guys are have some way to get this thing off. I do have a set of like small micro screwdrivers, jeweler's size screwdrivers that you use for messing with tiny little screws, which I know I could probably get in there and pry that thing off. Well, like I said, just look at this filter itself. It doesn't seem like it just snaps in. It looks like it, oh, maybe, does it twist? Anybody know if this thing twists? Because that may be the way it comes out. Maybe I gotta twist it off instead of just pulling it off. Let's try that. Let's try a twist. For the sake of saying we attempted, it twists. It's a lock, and it comes right off. Whew. I'm glad I didn't try to force it. I'm one of these guys that'll take a hammer to something real quick if it don't come off. So, and that explains why it has the little notches on there too. I guess little notches assist you in twisting that off. But actually, the first set came off pretty good. I'm gonna quit talking and put this one on before I get all kind of lens dust and dirt on the new gimbal. I mean on the exposed lens. Try to line these back up. Get the numbers at the bottom. See if I can get everything to lock in. And it locked. Oop, didn't get the bottom ones. See if I can get the bottom ones in there. Got a crap ton of light in my face and it's everywhere but where I need it to be. Alright, boom. Quick twist, and it works. So I don't know why guys are saying that they couldn't get the gimbal cover back on because it looks like it doesn't even, I mean, it protrudes just a little bit. I mean, that couldn't keep the gimbal cover from going back on. But let's find the gimbal cover and find out. Because I'm all about keeping it on, and if I gotta take it off every time I fly, it's gonna make me not want to use it. Alright, so here's the gimbal cover. Let's get that gimbal straight up. Is there something holding it off? It is. They were right. Data usage. Oh, what are you talking about? Am I not on Wi-Fi right now? You gotta be kidding me. Hold on a sec. You gotta be kidding me. I always on Wi-Fi. So this is probably looking a little grainy as hell. But yeah, they were right. I could probably fix that easier with a file to this than worrying about the little gripper saw teeth on the filter itself. What's happening is the saw teeth stick out just far enough that they are blocked by this edge right here that my middle finger is touching. So I can't get that to slide over the saw teeth. And I'll see if I can show you real quick. If I can get it up there close enough without breaking, because it feels like I'm holding it feels like I'm holding my drone by the gimbal and not the drone, or I don't want to drop this thing. Sorry. So I'm gonna take this and I put it on here. You know, tip it up like that, and you got to slide that on like that. As you can see, it won't go all the way back because the saw teeth are preventing the front of this thing from sliding all the way back around the pivot point on the gimbal. So probably could fix that. I mean, this isn't that expensive. I'm pretty sure I could buy another one. A Dremel should clean that up a little bit. Just go down in here a little bit with it and clean it all up. And I could mount this without having to modify or worry about those little ridges on the side. I'm definitely not going to take a file to the ridges, so I think this will be the easiest way to fix this situation. So hopefully that helped. For anybody who's thinking about going out and getting a set of ND filters for the for the Mavic Pro or Mavic 2 Pro, these are inexpensive. They're $40. I'll probably put the link to them in the video description after this is done, and it's uploaded to YouTube. But they look very clean. They look like they I mean, their quality. I can say that it has a metal bezel. It looks like it's a solid piece of glass. Looking through each piece of glass up against the light, I did not see any defect or any kind of scratches or anything that would affect your video quality. And the last time I checked, the Polar Pros or some of the other gimbal, I mean, some of the other ND filters were cost twice as much. So give me a day or two. Hopefully, if I can get out tomorrow, it seems like, I think I'm gonna get morning rain, and it might be cloudy. Maybe there's some sunlight that's gonna come out, and then I'm gonna get this thing out and then shoot some video with it. And I will definitely have some comparison of with and without the ND filter. To be honest with you, like I said in my last video, kind of takes a trained eye to look at the differences between an ND filter and not having an ND filter. The drone itself does an amazing job at controlling all of your parameters so that you get the best image quality. But if you use an ND filter, you can definitely see a difference in it if you're really looking for it, and that would depend on how you're viewing the video. Um, Most of the time, because people don't really have the fastest internet connections or they don't have like a 4K TV, I don't even bother shooting in 4K. I will shoot in 1080. Oh no, that's not true. I'll shoot it in 4K, but I won't even post it in 4K. I'll down res it to like 1080 or 720. So let's see how these things work tomorrow, and then I'll get back to you. So thanks for the two guys, three or four guys. Nobody's talking. I don't see any chats popping up. So thanks for you two or three guys that popped up and watched the video. Sorry I took so long rambling, 17 minutes, but like I said, didn't have anything else to do, and just thought I'd show you what I got. So these are the F-Stop Labs ND filters. There's a, who's that? Is it worth it? I think it's worth it, to be honest with you. So when you say is it worth it, is it worth it to get a fresh drone, two fresh drones if you crash it? I I don't have any wood, so I don't want to say it. But I'll say it. I haven't crashed. I've been lucky to fly safe enough or careful enough not to crash into anything. I've also not flown over water or done anything super sketchy with my drone, like skimmed water or something where I thought I would lose it in the water. Especially if you fly around water, the refresh care is actually probably the best thing to have because they will replace it for water damage. Is it worth it if you already had a Mavic Pro? So I didn't have it on my Mavic Pro. I had it on my Spark. I think I had it on the Spark. I don't remember which one I had it on, but I never used it. So I think it's like I don't even think it's like forever. I think it's like within a year you buy the care, and I think it's within a year or so you can get two refreshes. So it's like buying a warranty on anything else. Like, do you need the warranty? Yeah, when you need the warranty, you need it. But when you don't need it, it's like spending the extra money and never actually using the actual freaking warranty. DJI has been kind of sketchy sometimes when it comes to that warranty and the replacement of care, and that's the thing I'm worried about. I'm worried about actually needing the care and then having to argue with them about how the drone got damaged. I'm asking if the Mavic 2 is worth getting it if I already have the Mavic Pro. Hold on, asking if the Mavic 2 is worth getting. Oh, you're asking about the drone. Oh yeah, definitely. I just sold. I just sold my Mavic Pro. Um, Now, when you say is it worth getting, there's a big price difference in the Mavic Pro versus the Mavic 2 Pro. In fact, I was just on eBay the other day and I saw a Phantom 4 Advanced, brand new, sell for $800 brand new. So if you want a one-inch sensor and you don't care to carry around a larger drone, I mean, go spend $800 on a Phantom 4 Advance. But if you want like the latest, greatest compact flying computer, I mean, this thing's got to be the best freaking drone on the market right now. I don't want to like oversell this as like the best because I haven't flown everything. But in my opinion, from what I've seen, living vicariously through all of the other guys who went out and bought the Evo and all the little, what is the Anafi and all these other little drones that came out between the release of this and I don't even know what the last drone release was. I think this is probably the best bang for your buck. Now, there's one thing that and I'll get into this because I wanted to kind of talk about this, and I know I'm kind of rambling on. I want to kind of talk about this, and I'm wondering, do you guys remember the controversy about iPhone sort of using firmware updates to downgrade their phone so that it almost forces you, it slows down the phone so that it forces you to go out and buy the new one, and they claimed it was to save battery. Like, why would you need to downgrade the phone to save battery? The phone didn't need a downgrade when it was, new, so why does it need it now? Um, I'm almost wondering if they do that with the Mavic Pro because they are. I saw a couple of releases where it said they are putting out end of service notifications on some of the previous drones, like the Phantom series, and I think the Mavic Pro was in there. Now, toward the end of me having my Mavic Pro, I swear, when I first got that thing was a rock solid, steady, stable drone. I never had any issues with it, nothing at all. I never crashed it. I didn't even fly it that much, considering that I had it for a couple of years. And toward the end of the life of that Mavic Pro, before I sold it, like I would have like GPS issues. Like I would be scared to fly it because it would always say magnetic interference or GPS disconnected, and I would check all of the parameters and settings, and they all said fine. But I also noticed that even when I was flying it, it wasn't like rock solid. When I first got the Mavic Pro, that thing would hold its position in the air, and it didn't move. And then toward the end of me getting rid of it, and I did calibrations on it and everything. I just noticed when I'm shooting a video, it would just gradually drift. Now, I don't know if DJI would practice those same tactics to get you to buy the latest greatest, but what I can say is even with the small amount of I guess problems that I'll air quote problems that I was having, the Mavic Pro was still an excellent drone. Hands off, it still held its position well enough to do very solid photography. Videos quality was always on point. And the difference between the Mavic Pro and this one, I think this one is kind of built on a professional level. Like and maybe they'll come out with them in firmware updates. I enjoyed the color profiling of the Mavic Pro. I hate doing post profile. I hate filming in log and doing post production stuff. So I enjoyed being able to go out and go into the Mavic Pro and select what color profile I wanted to use. I'm a fan of Vivid or HDR, but if I wanted to shoot grayscale, it would just click a freaking button, it would do it, or cinematic or old school or something. This one doesn't have that. It's got two professional color grade settings or nothing at all. But again, I'm thinking more stuff might come out for this in the future. Just waiting to see what it can offer. Right now, I'm totally impressed by it. But I'm thinking there's going to be some more stuff that's going to come out for it later because it's so new. We can all admit as a community that the Spark hand gesture thing was an argument. Yeah, the gimmick, the hand gesture was a gimmick. I knew that as soon as the Spark came out. Like it was like, yeah, I'm gonna fly this. I'm gonna go out and show my friends I can fly my drone with my hands. Um, the Mavic Pro does have gesturing, and that comes in handy. I mean, yeah, it what do you do like this? And it arms itself to take a photo. You wave at it, and it kind of notices you. I like that part about it because you can put the control down. And usually when you're flying and you're trying to look all cool, you don't want to be holding the remote control while you're trying to set up the shot, and you don't want to, you don't want to like do this and have the remote control in your hands when you take the picture. So I like that part about it, but the flying part with your hand was a little bit gimmicky. Landing in your hand was gimmicky. I can't remember. I think it was the air. Did the air have the takeoff from the ground by just doing something? I can't remember. I only had that thing for like a week maybe. But yeah. So if hopefully I answered the question, is the Mavic Pro 2 worth getting if you have a Mavic Pro? I think so. I think the Mavic Pro had its time. I think it still is an excellent drone, but if you've had it that long and now you're looking to upgrade, I think the Mavic 2 is the drone to go for. If you're looking to save a couple bucks, and you want the same image quality, you could probably pick up a Phantom 4 Pro or Phantom 4 Advanced for half the cost. But then you're giving up the convenience. But I've seen guys dragging around Inspire, so it's up to you. I personally plan on taking this thing with me on travel, so I wanted the combination of camera and portability, so that I can just drop it in a bag, launch it real quick, and then throw it back in the bag. If somebody is looking for some guy flying a drone, it's inconspicuous. You can't see it. It comes in a little. I probably won't carry around this bag as much, the one that it came with. Um, I usually carry around my little tactical purse, as my kids call it, and it fits in there great. I mean, I can put the batteries and everything in there, and I'm good to go. So If you got the cash, I would say go buy it. Or wait a year or so and wait for the price to, not the price to drop, but maybe a couple people who want to sell one have had it for a while. We're gonna admit, I got that one. Let's see, is there more? Phantoms are too intimidating and scare people. They do. Now, that's one of the things about this thing that I like. It is super duper quiet, and I didn't realize how when I had the Mavic Pro and the Mavic Pro Platinum came out, and they were like, oh, quieter ESCs and quieter propellers. I was like, I'm not going out and buying a whole new drone for a slight decibel decrease, because it seemed like when you look at the specs, the decrease in sound wasn't that significant. This thing, if the Platinum is as quiet as this thing, is ridiculously quiet. Like the Mavic Pro, when I launched it out in front of my apartment complex, people look out their windows because you can hear it go zzz and take off. It was loud. It wasn't as loud as the Air, but it was super freaking loud when you compare it to this. This one, I think I flew it, and I've said it in my last video, I flew it maybe 15, 20 feet high and 50 feet away. And it was like it was super quiet. It didn't draw any attention. And when you take it up about 150 feet, the thing that I was doing is I was losing track of it. So I was flying it and I'm like, okay, look down and I'm like, where is it? I'm so used to hearing, like if I'm flying it and I'm coming back, I'm so used to hearing the Mavic Pro like coming over top of my head. I'm like, oh, there it is. This one, no, it's over top of your head and you're like, where is it? I can't. You can barely hear it. If there's any extra, like any kind of wind breeze or anything happening, you will not hear this drone. And I like that because if you're the type of person that doesn't want to draw a lot of attention, you want to go out and you want to go fly, you don't want the drone police called on you, you can do it with that drone. I like it. I ain't gonna lie, I love it. Actually, nah, I love it. I'm not gonna say I like it. I love it. But there's some things, like I said, I want to figure out with this control. I mean, it's still the same form factor as the Mavic Pro controller. As I mentioned in my other video, this has a, like, you click it here and that focuses it, and then you click it all the way down and it takes a picture. Some things I'm just learning about it that have changed. I do remember having the ISO setting, or not ISO setting. I think it was you got it wrong. All right, man. Thanks a lot. Like I said, I'll get some videos next, like probably the next couple of days. I'm off till Friday, so I'm gonna try to get this thing up in the air and shoot some more video with it. And then I want to do a full breakdown, sort of all the features, the active track, and give you guys a glimpse of what that active track looks like. I think I had a quick shot of it in my previous video, where this thing can, it's got like 5 different things it's tracking at the same time on the screen. I thought that was freaking awesome. But I want to get out and I want to see, I want to find a long empty road, and I want to see how well it tracks me. I want to get on my motorcycle. I got to figure out how to mount this somehow to the motorcycle, and I want to see how well it tracks me if I'm like zipping around in a parking lot and going around, like not telephone poles, light poles and stuff like that. So again, guys, notice it's kind of gotten off track. I just was doing an unboxing of the ND filters, but I'll get back to you soon with how well they work. Usually ND filters are ND filters. Are you getting battery life compared to the Mavic Pro? Oh yeah, man. Larry, this thing flies for 31 minutes. Like when you start it up, 31 minutes. It hovers for 31 minutes. I'm going to say hover for 31 minutes. With a timer on it, says 31 minutes. I think the Mavic Pro, the best I was getting is 21 minutes. So you get probably like, I don't know, I would say 25, maybe best, depending on if I was actually flying it or hovering it. But you get a lot more flight time out of it. It's almost like weird to have it up in the air so long because I've had the Mavic Pro for so long and I'm waiting for it to go beep, beep, low battery warning, low battery warning. I've already done what I need to do and get it back, especially for those hyperlapse videos. It takes a picture every 2 seconds. So if you want to shoot a 10-second video, it takes about 15 minutes, I think. It takes about 15 minutes to shoot it, and you're just sitting there like listening to this thing go clack, 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 clack. And it's like there's a counter. I think to shoot a 10-second hyperlapse, it takes somewhere about 275 photos to get that 10-second hyperlapse. So when I did that, I was like, man, I'm always thinking, because I'm so used to hearing the Mavic Pro ready to return to home, it ain't gonna have enough time to shoot this thing. So I think it took like 10, 15 minutes and it made itself back. Like I said, I wasn't too far. I was just out. Actually, I could probably see it from when I was doing the hyperlapse. But yeah, extended battery time. That's another thing. And I didn't really show up, but I don't know, because I haven't been watching everybody else's videos. The battery is bigger than the Mavic Pro. I don't have it to compare, but the battery itself is a lot thicker than the original Mavic Pro battery. In fact, the original Mavic Pro battery probably was only about as thick as where this little lip or the ledge here is. See how thick that is? Mavic Pro, first time Mavic Pro battery was about that big. This is a lot thicker, so it's definitely got the flight time on it. Something different about it that I didn't mention in the video, because every time I shoot these videos, I try to do scripts, but I end up, man, I'm on 30 minutes now. I try to do scripts, but I end up going off script, and I like to shoot from the hip a lot. And I also, I'll segue into something that I didn't really want to. So I try to do, like right off the top videos, as in rap, they would call it freestyle videos, right? I didn't mention how the battery mounts up too. There's a little bit difference in how the battery mounts out. So I know a lot of guys in the previous Mavic, or previous Mavic owners were doing battery modifications where the battery posts were here, and then they snap it in that way. And what they were doing was they were taking little pieces of copper and creating a little almost coming up on time too. I gotta go with my daughter. They're creating a little bridge so they can hook up lithium batteries and doing long range flight tests. I'm not sure how you're gonna do it with this one because the battery posts are way down there in the bottom. So I'm pretty sure somebody will figure it out. Somebody after this thing's been out for a while, and they're also recessed. So it's not like you can actually, if I could show you that, they're not actually exposed so that you can like run copper contacts off of it. I'm pretty sure somebody's gonna figure out how to make this thing fly for an hour down the line once they've pulled it apart and got into all the electronics inside. They probably run batteries inside, and I mean through the connections inside and back out of the back out of the back of the drone or something like that. But yeah, there's a lot that's changed on it. And like I mentioned in the last video, another reason why you're going to lose it because you don't have that big flashing green light on the back. So if you're looking to fly stealthy on top of being quiet, there aren't a lot of lights on this thing to catch people's attention. In fact, the rear LEDs are these tiny little things right here, not like in the previous one. You had that whole lit up back section in here. So when it's up in the air, once you turn on recording on, I have my front LED shut off, the red one shut off, and they're tiny too. Once it's up in the air and those two front ones go out, you can't even really see the back two green ones flashing because it's literally like what, I don't know, half inch, a little bit more, 3/4 of an inch of light LED on that one. You can't see it when it's up in the air. So you can definitely fly stuff with this thing. I don't recommend doing anything illegal with it, but it is a stealthy drone. And with the camera and these little additional LED lights on the bottom, you can get some great night shots. So it's crazy to get it out. The little LEDs on the bottom, you can actually go in there. There's a setting that turns them on automatically. When it gets about 15 feet off the ground, they shut off. But you can actually put them on all the time or shut them off. When I'm doing night shot stuff, I turn them on so I can see the drone in the air. And there was a little bit of a scare. I was flying this thing. I don't know where the hell this helicopter came from. It was at night. It was actually the video that you saw at the end of my previous video. I was at night doing a relatively low flying shot of this this restaurant that had these glowing lights on it. It's at the very end of the video I just posted. And out of nowhere, I mean, it seemed like that damn thing was over top of my head. A police helicopter or something was like, so for a split second, I was like, oh shit, where's the drone? I said shit again. Sorry. I said shit again. Oh, I keep saying it. I said it again. But yeah, I was like, oh, where's the drone? Because I couldn't see the damn thing. I said damn too. I couldn't see it. And I was like, but I wasn't that high. I knew I was just above the steeple of this church. Actually, I was just beyond the steeple of this church. The last time I had track of it, I was kind of flying an orbit around it so I could see it in my vision. But when I got around the back of the steeple behind the church, I lost it because I had to look down and see if I was getting a good shot of the restaurant. And like I said, out of nowhere, that thing must have had this Blue Thunder stealth mode on because it came out of nowhere and over my head. And like, I think by the time I heard it, it had already flown over my head. It was like, and I was like, shoot, I was going to say it again. But yeah, I brought the thing down because I was like, yeah, didn't realize that. And plus I was like near the city where there's a lot of super tall buildings. So I didn't think anything would be flying that low. But like I said, at least I kept it down at the height of the church steeple. Probably wasn't any danger of getting hit by a helicopter unless the helicopter was going to skim that church steeple cross that was on top, but it was a scary event. So, all right, guys, I did say I was going to get off like 20 minutes ago, and now it's 35 minutes again. Thanks for everybody who tuned in. Stay tuned for more videos from the Mavic 2 Pro. I also got a couple buddies who got these things, and I'm looking for somebody who has a Zoom locally so I can go out and play with it a little bit. Like I said, I know the Zoom's probably got great image quality. 24x to 48x zoom wasn't impressive to me. I know I saw some videos where guys were like, "Oh, you can get it." No, you can't. No, you can't. 2x zoom isn't that great. You're gonna have to be pretty close to get a good zoom in on that thing to begin with. But it ain't like a telephoto zoom, like literally where it's like I'm like this big and then I'm like right here. Nah, it's not that. It's not that. So I didn't think it was that great. But I want to test it before I downplay it. I know the original Mavic Pro has a 2x digital zoom and it wasn't that great. I mean, it gave me a false perspective, and like I said, didn't really get me that close to the subject that I wanted to shoot. Double it by two. So, so anyway, gotta go. Again, thanks everybody for tuning in. Talk to you later. Bye.